Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan. We're coming live from South Africa, live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Please go be notified so that you can be up on what we're bringing to the world, you guys, all right? So I am the one and only man, and all we do here is teach you guys about how to heal yourself. And you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself, you guys. So we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to three things: happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right. So once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. This is the free information station, you guys. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. Okay. All you got to do to pay for it is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. All right. So we're going to be jibbing and we're going to be jabbing, you guys. It's Sunday. Y'all know how I do it. So you're going to get in the mood. I hope you're in the mood. We're going to teach you today. You're going to learn today, Craig, on how to be healthy. And everything that we learn here on the HerbMan Show, you guys. And I want to say what's going on to my YouTubers, but everything that you learn here, if you do miss the program, this will be automatically uploaded to YouTube, right? But what does healing mean to you? And everything that you hear, I want you to always look at this in a gardening context, right? Always look at like we're using gardening terminology. So if you know how to grow a seed, something from a seed to a fruit, or a seed to a vegetable, or if you know how to grow a plant, then you can grow an idea. If you know how to take care of pet, you take care of baby. You know, it's that kind of thing, right? So you got to understand that plants require care. So you can't just go on vacation when you're trying to take care of a plant early on in the structure of it, because it needs care. It needs watering. It needs a little this and a little that. So plants require a lot of affection and love, just like a pet does, okay? So what my point is to you, that if I can get you to grow up an idea, that's why a baby, whoever can get a baby from just a little bit of embryo all the way to an adult, you did a good job. That's why mama be applauding at the high school, because it went from a seed to this right here that you see today. That's the reason why we applaud while you're walking across the stage at college, because it went from a seed to what it is today. And that's why you're crying when you're at the wedding, because it went from a seed to where it's at today. And that's why you cry when you're at the funeral, because it went from a seed to where it's at today. So this ability to care and produce something, is the energy that we're trying to get you to utilize in not only just one area of life. Everything that we do it in just a few areas. We're very selective with this power of reproducing, or this power of production, or this power of resurrection, or this power of mind making the body do something. Your mind can make your body do something just like your brain can. Okay? And we don't illustrate this too much, so people don't understand this power. So I always use it in the little easiest thing. Okay, easiest thing, right? When somebody sees somebody naked, something happened to you. Now they don't have to touch you, but your mind goes somewhere, and next thing you know, there is a physiological rise in your nature. She didn't even touch you. When he's talking to you on the phone, you get lubricated. He didn't touch you. We don't need to go no further than that, but just to know that that's what I'm trying to use. How your mind can make something happen inside of your body. That's what we're trying to use, okay? So with that being said and done, what does healing mean to you, right? And when we're going through this little lesson today, we're trying to get you to understand the ins and outs of what healing is really all about. So when you ask me the question of what does healing mean to you, then what we need to understand is what is the mechanisms of healing, okay? So normally the mechanism of healing is going to be regeneration and homeostasis, okay? Regeneration and homeostasis is the basis for healing, okay? Now, this ain't just on the physical level. This is on the emotional, the spiritual, and the mental level, okay? So what we're talking about here is something having to rebirth or regrow, regenerate, all right? Renew itself, okay? So that's what we're talking about here, right? Transformation. Regenerating is a transformation. Homeostasis is basically the balance of the environment. Okay, so you got the transformation. You got the transformation, and then you got the balance of the environment. Those are the two things that got to happen to keep you alive. Okay, these are the two things that got to happen to keep you alive: is regeneration and homeostasis. It has to happen. It's got to happen in order for you to be alive. So your body is doing this involuntarily. It ain't nothing you can do about it. And when it get tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul to do this, that's when you'll go into sickness. So this will heal you, but also it will kill you to try to heal you, because it's utilizing all of the requirements to keep this environment. Now, what keeps the environment? I want y'all to follow me now, because I'm going to teach you a little something today. What keeps your environment? Okay, so now we understand that regeneration is the duty that must be done under the umbrella of homeostasis. Let me repeat that one more time. You guys, this will be saved on YouTube if you do miss it, okay? This will be saved on YouTube, but this is why it's so important to get your owner's manual. If you are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us. We'll get you that information. Now, here we go. So regeneration is the work that needs to be done under the umbrella of homeostasis. Okay, so homeostasis is what you actually are trying to do, but you got to do it by the regeneration, right? So it's requiring you to have to do some things, all right? So now we understand that with regeneration, and then we understand that with homeostasis, okay, that these two mechanisms is how I heal from a biological standpoint, but also from a spiritual standpoint. So the Bible and all of these books are talking about regeneration, rebirth, transformation. Be ye renewed by the transforming of your mind. Regeneration. Genesis is the generations of Adam. Generations, regenerations. Y'all know I ain't came over here to play with y'all. I hope y'all knew that, right? Y'all know it's Sunday. Y'all know I don't come over here to play with you. You know it's always a ram in the bush when I speak. Follow me, though, because I got to teach you biologically, spiritually, how these things intertwine for you to understand your nature is intertwined with nature, but you got to know nature and understand your nature. And when you learn the patterns of nature, you start identifying the patterns of your own behavior. And that's when you start clocking you, that's when everything done. Okay? You clock everything else but you. So regeneration and homeostasis. The Bible is teaching you about rebirth and teaching you about balance. Those are the two things that the Bible is teaching you, because those are the two things that your body has taught us. Okay. All right. And so in order to understand this, then you must understand that those two things are needing what? Requirement and environment, right? Requirement and environment is the two things that those two things are going to get us to understand. They're going to require some things in order to regenerate, and the homeostatic part of it is got to have a balanced environment internally in you, but also intracellularly as well as extracellular. So this homeostasis got to be inside the cell as well as outside the cell, and it's also got to be in your life. So now we understand that if these are the two things that keep me alive, then these are the two things that I must know about if I want to heal myself. And if I'm just a dumb dude on the street, if Broad teach me these two things, then he's teaching me the cellular structure of how I stay alive inside of me, but he also teaching me how to stay alive outside. That if we understand that the cell's life, that yourself, being born in this dynamic, it must understand that you got to have some requirement, some skills. There have to be some developmental skills that you got to have, because it's going to be a requirement to live in this paradigm. And you must understand your environment. Okay? And what happens here, and this is the specialness of this video. If you just tuning in, welcome. Please tap the screen, you guys. If you keep tapping out, keep talking, let's get us up to 100,000 likes. You've never heard nothing like this before, but you're going to hear it today based on the HerbMan Show and what we bring it. So I'm going to tell you who does this. Okay? We're finna get down to who does this. Now, requirement and environment is 1, 2 of the 4 things that I'm going to give you. The third one is what influences this? Temperature, and 4, the fluids. Okay? Now, the other day we told you about the seasons, the seasons, seasons, right? And I told you that the sun shines on the ocean and the ocean absorbs the sunlight. And then that creates humidity, which creates your atmosphere, or the temperature in here is going to be what? Temperature, sun, and fluids, the ocean. Okay? So now what's happening is these things are set on a set point. And there can't be a whole bunch of fluctuation between these set points. Now you eating all you eating, and you living all you living, and you doing all you doing, sometimes can start to mess with the set point. Okay? Now, when you start messing with your set points, you don't went a little too deep down in the chain of command where you're supposed to be, because you're always supposed to stay at homeostasis. Now you're going down to homeoresis. See, y'all don't even know nothing about that, but don't worry about it. I bought some receipts for you. Y'all know I was going to teach you today. Now, you know I was going to do it to you. I bought some receipts today. If they let me show you the receipt. There we go. YouTube, I'm showing them the environment, right? So homeostasis is where we're supposed to be. Now look at that. It said changes at the physiological level, right? So it changes at the body. Okay. But homeoresis is when you done change now at the set points. That's what you really don't want. Now, then when you get on down to the plasticity and the epigenetics of it all, then now you're changing the gene expression. And then when you get the evolution, now you done change almost everything, right? You're changing the genes, the homeostasis, the homeoresis, and the epigenetics, because now you done change the genetic structure of it all the way into every. So now all this does is reproducing itself. Now the great thing about this information is this is how you heal. Okay, plasticity is how you heal. All right, plasticity is how you heal. Anybody got questions about that before I take this down? Okay, plasticity is how you heal. Okay, I give you another look at it from a skin standpoint. Homeostasis is where you should be. This is the stasis of wound healing. Okay, YouTube, I'm showing them a video. I'm showing them a picture of the stages of wound healing. Okay, so you go Google that, the stages of wound healing, and then hit image. Okay, and it's gonna say the same thing. Homeostasis. Then you got inflammation, right? Because that's where the pain comes at. So homeostasis is the bleeding. Boom. And then you got inflammation, that's the pain, but also I'm telling you what's going on up under the skin. So the homeostasis is when it got infiltrated by the cut. Boom. Right? So you did interrupted homeostasis by getting that little cut. And then when you interrupted homeostasis by getting that little cut, it started to bleed. Then after that, it started to hurt. That's inflammation. But really what's going on up under there is that you got your neutrophils and your macrophages running to that area, trying to eat up all the bacteria and stuff like that so that we can start to womb and close this thing on up. Okay. And then now when they eat up everything, all the little bacteria, just hope that you don't get infected and all that, they then start to poop out what you call mediators. They start to create the mediators. Okay. And now this is where proliferation come in at. Now proliferation is the body makes new skin tissue and repairs broken blood vessels. Okay. And then after proliferation is when the remodeling goes. Okay. Now these are still the 4 elements of healing. Look, you got homeostasis, you got inflammation, proliferation, and remodeling. Okay, 4 stages of wound healing. But what I want you guys to know out there in TV land and social media land is that we ain't just talking about the wound on your skin, but we're talking about the wound within. And sometimes you must understand that there's levels to getting inside of you to figure out what's going on too. And when you're dealing with an incurable issue, okay, an incurable issue, you must know how to be able to heal that as well as just healing a little bump on the skin. See, it's easy to do that because, again, your body comes innate with this ability. Your body is coming into the paradigm innately able or capable of healing itself in this way. That's why I'm teaching you this. But I want to teach you this in a spiritual content so you'll understand what the Bible and all this stuff is talking about. You came in here already able to heal thyself. So therefore, if you are poor or if you are in poverty, you came with the ability to change your paradigm. If you are lonely, only you, but you can change your paradigm. If you are hurting and sick, it is you that can change your paradigm. And so what we're trying to teach you is how you have the power innately to do it, but you don't know thyself well enough to activate these things. So then what he said was 4 elements. It was requirement, environment, temperature, and fluid. Okay. Then we just looked at the homeostasis, inflammation, proliferation, and then we had the remodeling is the 4 stages of wound healing. But now you got to understand that that's what heals the outside of your skin, but it's also the stages to heal you within. Because now what we're talking about in order to be able to do that is what? Okay, so we know that proper sunlight can speed up healing. Okay, we know that nutrient-dense food can speed up healing. Okay, we know that good air and breathing can speed up healing. And then we also know that you must have structured water to speed up healing. The 4 elements of healing, okay? So we're going to keep it moving, but I'm just showing you guys what we're bringing to the table with this owner's manual and why it's so important to invest in the owner's manual, because it is not a panacea product, but it is a panacea programming to get you back in tune with your nature. And the very thing is that you guys don't know where you are and you don't know how to calculate opportunities. And so the owner's manual is a compass and a calculator. And all we need is your birthday. We don't need your blood type, your blood sample, no hair sample, no stool sample, no urine sample. We don't need to prick you, prod you, or poke you. We ain't gonna put you up on no radar. We don't need you to open your mouth. We ain't looking at your eyes. We don't need to do none of that. All we need is a birthday and let nature tell us what's going on with you. And time tagging is the oldest tag that you came in here with, and can't nobody beat that time tag. And that time tag is your birthday. And we use that in order to assess your health. And that's what the owner's man was about. If you're interested, DM me, somebody reach out to you. Okay, so now, what does healing mean to you? Understanding that regeneration and homeostasis. Now we understand the difference between the two. We understand that homeostasis is the umbrella that regeneration works under to create the goal of keeping it in a homeostatic understanding. And with homeostasis, we understand that that is the balance of the environment internally, not just within you, but then break it down even further within the cell life. So we know that homeostasis is all about balance intracellularly. That means inside the cell, and extra, which means outside the cell. So now we get that this must be happening inside of me, and this must be happening outside of me. So I must reproduce, I must regenerate myself, and I must stay and maintain a homeostatic environment. And I can do it with these four things: sunlight, nutrient-dense food, the best water I can get, which is structured water, which is a natural spring water, well water. And then also we understand that we need to get the right quality of air, and we can do that through different breathing techniques to make sure that we're slowing our breathing down. Why do you want to slow your breathing down? Because we don't want all that oxidative stress. And another reason why you slow it down is because you don't want to be overly stimulated. Now, what is it that can break, or what is it that can interfere with this particular dynamic of cohesiveness? What is it that can interfere with this balance? What is it that is interfering or obstructing my happiness, my wellness? What is it that is interfering with my well-to-do-ness? Okay, well then thank you for asking, because there we go, and we on this roll. And I'm gonna tell you one thing is, and when I put these down, I don't want to hear nobody talking that trash. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Okay, these are the interference for homeostasis, this regeneration. Poor sleep. A lot of you guys are not getting to sleep. Okay, a lot of you guys are not sleeping well. Go back to plant life. You're only one chromosome different from a plant. Your blood is iron, the plant's blood is magnesium. That's the only real significant difference between you and the plant when it comes biologically, structure-wise, functionality, all the things that you can do, a plant can do, but just can't walk and talk. Okay? So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to get you to understand is a plant requires 12 hours of sunlight and 12 hours a day. So there is a proper balance with a plant. It receives what nature gives without asking and without it. One thing about a plant is it don't walk and it don't talk and it don't got to do nothing for its food, and it still live longer than you. Most trees live longer than most humans, and it never had to go get its own food. So nature is providing something for something to let you know that nature can provide. But you ain't looking at nature like that because you don't use nature as examples. You're looking at other folk to try to mimic behind when you should be trying to mimic behind the one true design, which is nature. Okay, so now as we look at nature as our example and we start to exemplify what nature is showing us, nature can show you everlasting life. Nature can show you long life. Nature can show you a quick life. Nature can show you what ignorance and basic instinct look like. Nature can show you what environmental stimuli can look like. It can show you what a predator can look like. It can show you what prey can look like. But it can also show you what bliss could look like and abundance could look like. And so you got all of this dynamic of nature. And so nature is saying that there's going to be a lot of different scenarios that come up in your environment. But how can you handle these things to be able to extend your own life? Okay, so poor sleep. So if a plant getting 12, you need at least 10 to 12. Over here, I'm going to sleep by 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm gonna be real with you. By 7, 7:30, we're in the bed. But get what? You waking up around about 7, 7:30. 12 hours. Wow. Easy getting up there to 10 to 12. When you on the sun. Easy. So you're getting poor sleep because you're not on nature's clock. I'm going to keep going now. These are the interferers of why you can't heal yourself, why there's no regeneration, no transformation, and then why there's no balance, homeostasis, no peace. Okay? So you got peace and you got change. Okay? Peace and change. You need to have change in your body and peace. You need to welcome change at a peaceful state, at a contentment. Remember that I told you that this pattern of nature is what? It's a ball of changes. If you never know, if anybody ever said, well, how do we exemplify nature? Nature is forever changing. Spring will always come, but it'll always go. So then I understand that I have this everlasting pattern of things that will always come and go. That's a pattern of change. So here it is. Now we understand that regeneration means change and homeostasis means peace. So I must, in this ever-changing environment that I live in, find peace. And sleep is a sign of peace. Sleep, when you can get some sleep, it's a sign of peace. You at peace with life. Okay? Now let's keep on going. Another one is chronic stress. Chronic stress is an interferer of the healing process, of regeneration, and of homeostasis. Okay? Chronic stress is an interferer. Okay? This is an interferer of regeneration, change, and peace, homeostasis within you and in your life. Remember that we're talking twofold here. I'm going to teach you something today. Okay? How many of you, and you can just count on your hand, how many of you dealing with these things? And if you're dealing with more than one, then that's going to reduce the amount of ability you're able to change in the way you want to and the amount of peace you're able to get. Okay? Now, another thing that we talked about already was not having the right amount of food, right? So then you got poor nutrition. Okay? Poor nutrition, and then I'm going to say overeating. Poor nutrition and overeating can interfere in your homeostasis, your peace inside and outside of your life, and also it can interfere with your cells. Poor nutrition. Okay? Some of us are overeating and we're malnutrition. Some of us are under eating and still not getting the proper diet as well, so you're malnutrition. Okay? This can interfere. All right? This can interfere with your particular stuff. Now you got a whole bunch of other stuff. You got cosmetics, you got bioplastics, you got all these other things that you're putting on your skin, you put in your hair. I don't need to go down that road, but just understand all of those different things right there. So if you stay sympathetic or have a sympathetic dominance, we call it sympathetic dominance. And this is why when you go to the hospital, if anybody's ever been suffering from breast cancer, you'll see they say estrogen dominance, but it ain't no different than this. So you got this sympathetic dominance, okay, that is producing chemicals, dopamine and all this type of stuff in the blood, causing what? Growth factor. Remember that regeneration also entails what? Human growth hormones. Okay? Regeneration is, as well as human growth hormones, is the way you heal. Okay? Now, what is the culprit in all of this that you need to understand? Once we get to 50,000 likes, I'm going to give y'all the culprit. Okay? I'm giving you the secrets. But once we get to 50K, I'm going to give you the name of what it is that's going on inside of you that can heal you, but also that can kill you. Okay? It's a name. It's a name. I just showed y'all this on the slide, but y'all didn't catch it, and that's fine because it's a teachable moment. But once we get to 50K, I'm gonna show you guys what's actually taking place in your body. Now, with that being said, when we're trying to teach you guys about sleep and peace and contentment, and we're trying to get your mind in the right place and trying to get your energy in the right place, it's a reason behind that. And so I'm scientifically showing you that your body produces way more healing components for you in your state of rest and sleep. Okay? In your state of rest and sleep, your body produces way more healing abilities. But it's not just about you trying to rest your body, you have to rest your mind. Okay? And that's why the owner's manual is important, because that's the part that is trying to get you to see these spiritual things, these mental things that are going on. You can stop this for a minute, but you can't see. That's what I'm trying to say. What does healing mean to you? Healing and being cured is a permanent state of being. Okay? Let me put this out here real quick. And once we get to 50,000, I'll tell y'all what the culprit is, right? But healing, being healed or being cured is a permanent state of being. It's not temporary. So it defies the change pattern. When you're healed, that means that thing won't come back again. That lesson won't come. That particular issue won't come back in the same way. It's like double jeopardy. You can't go through the same thing because, first of all, your immune system is supposed to be built like that. Your immune system is supposed to have this innate ability and this adaptability to be able to find something or get something in one moment and then register that so that if it ever gets into contact with that environment again, it can produce your defense mechanisms, okay? So you just internally built to where all I need is a one hitter and I know who you is after that. But your body doing it, but your mind, your spirit ain't. And so your body is discerning, but your mind ain't discerning. Now then understand that when you start to lower the discernment of the body and your mind already ain't discerned, then you are privy to a short life. I hope you heard that now. So my point to you is that your body came built with discernment, but your mind had to develop, your spirit got to develop this discernment. But what's happening is now the body discernment is not strong enough to discern. And way before you even get to going to school for the mind, you already failed at the body's level. Because see, when the body can't discern, you don't have enough time to make it through the school of the mind discernment, the spirit's discernment. So you must pass the PT test as well as pass the spiritual test. And your owner's manual will allow you to know which one you taking at the right time. Some of you guys are in spiritual class thinking you got them need to run a marathon. This ain't PT test. This spiritual class, son. And some of you guys are in PT class and you can't run a mile and you talking about using your spirit. You're going to fail the class because you don't know where you are. And the owner's manual serves as a compass and a calculator to not only tell you where you at, but to tell you what you need to be doing to get back on track with your life. Healing and cured is a permanent state of being. So that's what we first must understand. What healing means to me is a permanent state of cohesiveness, of homeostasis, a permanent state of being in this changing environment that's working like a well-oiled machine. Okay? I'm not staring away from nothing. I ain't scared of nothing because I understand that my body is at an all-time high of adaptability. I could be in any environment. I could be in any kind of situation and figure things out because now I understood that everything that comes into my environment can't be solved just intellectually, but there's another part of me that I can utilize to start to allow myself to circumvent this life experience, which is called intuition. And so now I'm not half-assing the experience and then feeling like a failure because my intellect can only go so far in this situation. So guess what? When my intuition, when facts can only get you so far, faith must kick in somewhere. Intuition must kick into your particular dynamic when they tell you that there's no other help that you need. There's no other help that they can give you. You got to go past machine into understanding miracle. You can't let the machine be your last judge. Okay? So it is in this particular mindset that we have to get you to navigate into in order to create the charge that's necessary to create this dynamic of bipolarism or polarity to get you the charge and the change that you need. Remember that charge equals change. Okay? So that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to get your positive and your negative to connect to create a charge, and that charge is going to create the change. Okay? That's what we're doing. And that's what we're doing. That's the polarity recipe. That's what we're giving you with herbs, foods, all the stuff that we're recommending has this ingredient behind it, has this particular blueprint behind every single thing that we're doing. Okay. So yes, your body can be in a place, but your mind can't be there. Your body can be broke, but your mind can't, in order for your body to not be there long. Your body can be sick. It's in an environmental stimuli. You can get sick. It's okay to be sick, but it's not okay to be sick-minded. Otherwise, the sickness will last longer than it's supposed to. Sometimes you'll find yourself alone. It's okay to be lonely if the body finds itself there, but your mind can't stay in loneliness. Otherwise, the loneliness is going to be permanent. So how do you change these things is by providing the opposite of the location in which one finds itself. If you find yourself in an impoverished family, you must have a rich mind to get out of it. If you find yourself in a lonely state, you must have this particular us mentality in order to get out of it. If you find your body in a sick state, you must have an out of country. And this will produce the polarity, the opposition that's needed to get the synergy that we need to create the change that you are looking for. Healing and curing is a permanent state of being. Yes, it is permanent state of being. It won't come back. You don't have to worry about remission and all this type of stuff. You don't have to worry about that, right? But this is all by being ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. So you understand that the body can find itself in a particular place, but if I renew my mind, I can take the body out that place. Your body can actually meet where your mind is at. So that's why you hear this slogan about make your dreams your reality, is because you can dream it in the mind and fuck around and be there in the body, in the life experience. I know because I'm a living witness. I'm living my dream. So my point to you is that you could literally, and that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. If your mind can cause this to resurrect and she ain't touched you yet, if your mind can cause this to lubricate and he ain't touched you yet, then your mind can get you into a place of living that you ain't never even thought you could be, but you dreamed it. My point to you is that power is what we need to use to heal yourself. It don't matter how you explain it. It's just about, that's what I'm trying to use to heal you. That's it. Everybody keep what is it? What is it? It's this. When you set your mind to something, you're finding that you're doing it. I'm trying to set your mind to healing yourself. I know it may seem impossible to think about this, you guys. But when you are setting your mind to something, you're doing it. When you want Chick-fil-A, you're in the Chick-fil-A line. When you want McDonald's, you're down there. When you want to smoke blunt, you're smoking. When you want to drink, you drink. When you want to fuck, you fuck. When you want to go to work, you're working. When you want to do whatever you're doing it. So then we just got to set point it to healing. Are y'all? Are you getting it? It's not that difficult. We got to set point you to healing. You can do all these other things, but when it comes to this, you got to be able to focus and set point it to healing. You broke as hell, but you're not set pointing it to rich. You complaining about being broke. You keep telling everybody you broke. You keep, walking around here. You living like you broke. You stinking like you broke. You walking like you broke and talking like you broke. But one thing about it is you ain't doing shit rich. Talking about you broke. You ain't did not one rich thing. So you're not doing anything to change your situation. And that's what we got to peel back that onion to get you guys to understand. This is very easy to do, but it's very hard to get inside of you to allow this simplicity to come into your spirit. Okay? This is simple. Okay? It's simple, it's affordable, but it's highly effective. It's simple, it's affordable, but it is highly effective. I told y'all once and I tell y'all before, all 200, 300 of y'all watching me right now, the best meal you ever had is your mama meal if you had a good relationship with your mama. The best meal you ever had was mama's or grandmama's. And that meal was free. Don't let these folk keep fooling you that quality got to cost you something when the best meal you ever had in your life come from mama them, somebody mama them, and it was free. Quality ain't got a price tag on it because you couldn't, that goddamn plate mama them made cost $1 billion. You couldn't even afford it because it was a love put in it that a thing is priceless. That you can't get at McDonald's, that you can't get at Ocean Out, that you can't get at the Shane's Barbecue, that you can't get at the Rib Shack, that you're not getting at Five Guys and Fries, that you can't get at the Hot Wing Stand. You ain't getting that. And see, that's why they'll charge you at the mother place because there ain't no love in it. But see, because when mama did it, it got to be free because you can't pay for it. It got love in it. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is open your skull. The best thing you ever had in life is literally don't cost that much, guys. So we're going to give you and offer you this for that little funky measly $50, and we're going to give you all the information that you need to heal yourself. If you're interested, DM me and keep it moving, all right? So now, with this temperature and fluid thing, right? This temperature and fluid thing really is the phenomenon that we got to look at when we're talking about healing, okay? So we do a lot of cold drinks, okay? A lot of cold drinks, a lot of ice this and ice that. We do a lot of fruits and vegetables, raw, okay? And so a lot of this stuff, cold drinks, ice, fruits, vegetables in the raw has a cooling down of the body, okay? Quite naturally, they will cool down the body, right? Okay? Now, you got some other things that will take temperature up, okay? You got some other things that'll take temperature up. Now, on the flip side of not only taking the temperature down, these cold drinks and stuff also will then add more fluids, okay? So guess what? When the temperature goes down, cooling goes down, then there's more fluids in the system, right? There's more mucus built up in the system. So the more mucus is, the more cooler the body is. The more water, the cooler the temperature. Get what I'm saying to you? This is a balance between hot and water. If I put more water in there, it's going to cool down the temperature. So cooling drinks, fruits and vegetables and ice will put more water in the body, which then will cool the temperature down. Okay? This is really good in a tropical or arid climate, but you got to be very, very cognizant when you're in a temperate climate, aka Europeans and United States and South Africans. Okay? You guys are in the temperate climate, so you got to be very careful and you got to be on point with how to change your diet based on them 4 seasons and not 2. Everybody else just got 2. Okay? So you got to be a balancer when you're in temperate climate, and that's what you're not getting. And that's why black folks is most sicker in these temperate climates than anywhere else on the planet. Because they're adopting cooling down diets, or you're adopting diets that bring the temperature up. So now you got coffee, okay, tea, okay, you got meats. Okay, you got alcohol and all this other stuff. These things will do what? Burn your temperature up. Okay? Coffee, tea, meats, all this stuff will burn your temperature up. Now, when your temperature is up, that means now you got less fluid. So here comes dehydration. Here comes arthritis. Here comes dry skin. Here comes this, that, and the third, because you're not keeping the water in the body, right? You're not absorbing the water properly, or you're not getting enough amount of water in you because you're eating a lot of stuff that's drying you out. Again, coffee, tea, meats, alcohol, et cetera, can dehydrate you and start to cause this dehydration type of effect in you, and not only in you, but in your cells. And this is where the homeostasis thing come in at. Remember, Remember that we got to get homeostasis not only inside the cell, but outside the cell. So how I'm messing with temperature is going to dictate how much fluids I'm messing with, and vice versa. How I'm messing with fluids is going to dictate the temperature in the body. So you guys are out there eating crap that you don't know, that you're keeping this set point going, fluctuating on and off and on and off and on and off. And what homeostasis is trying to do is keep the set point despite the outside environment. Very hard to do. Very hard to do as you keep on messing with it like that. Now, also, another component to the balance of the temperature and fluid is going to be your stomach acid. Okay? Your stomach acid also is going to add to this temperature and fluid. Now, all of this is what? All of this is what? Thermoregulation. That's in your mind. That's in your brain, right? Thermoregulation. That's going to be your what? Your hypothalamus. Okay? Your hypothalamus. That's your thermoregulation. That's your temperature. Who handling the fluids? The kidneys. The root chakra. Look at what I just told you. Okay? The temperature is the hypothalamus. Is the hypothalamus, man. Pineal is the hypothalamus, the pineal, the pituitary, the thyroid, etc., right? Then you got the root chakra is the kidneys. They handling the fluids. What are we talking about? The positive and the negative. Okay? Also, you can break this down into the sleep, which is the pineal. Okay? And then you can break this down into the adrenals. Okay? The adrenals are going to produce cortisol. The pineal is going to produce melatonin. Melatonin is your self-healing mechanism, but you got to sleep and rest to get it. Cortisol is your wake and bake, but that's the one thing that's killing you because you're too sympathetically dominant. So cortisol is killing you, and you ain't getting enough melatonin to heal you because you're not biologically balanced. So then you got a biological clock inside of the cell. Okay? Now, we at 50,000 likes, so I'm going to tell you this right here. Now I'm going to tell you the secret. This biological clock inside of your cell has an innate ability to do different things. I told you guys about this, right? So when any time that you get into some trouble in your body, you have 3 body systems that innately are going to autonomously get into effect, right? So we know it's the immune, okay, the endocrine, right? And the nervous system is always going to be your first responders, period. They're going to get right into the effect of autonomously, right? That means that it's going to be involuntarily, nothing that you got to do about it. This is just what's happening, right? So remember that the endocrine, the immune system, and all of that is what's happening. Now, there's a player that's happening in life, okay? There's a player that's happening in life, and it's called cell plasticity. Okay? Cell plasticity is the reason how you're healing. Regeneration and homeostasis is happening because of the cell's ability to transform. And that's what we've been trying to teach you about here on the HerbMan Show forever, ever in a day. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is talking about, again, your body goes through this with cell plasticity. Cell plasticity is the cell's ability to transform its identity and adapt to whatever the situation needs. If you need somebody for the job, I'm here to do it. If you need a janitor, although I'm a cashier, I'll janitor. If you need a Bible, if you need a pastor, although I'm a football player, I'll lead the church. If you need a banker, although I'm a doctor, I'll go ahead and run the finances. If you need a mama, although I'm a father, I'll go ahead and mother them children. If you need something, I can transform into it to give the body what it needs. It's an innate ability to transform, to change. And the problem with society is that you are losing your plasticity, my brothers and sisters, your own plasticity, your ability to change your identity. I went from a herb man in your community that you used to like, but you don't really like, to the herb man in your community that's going to hold the community up. We're from selling dope to selling hope is a transition. It's a transformation from Jesus Christ to Christ Jesus. Is a transformation. These things are not real, but they're principles of transformation. From a seed to a fruit, from a baby to an adult is nothing but a transformation. It is a pattern of life. It is the pattern of nature. And when you begin to learn nature, then you'll learn your nature. And while you're sitting there right now with stage 5 this and stage 4 that, and dialysis this and HIV that, I want you to understand that you can change and that it will change, and that all you got to do is persevere, and all you got to do is get into a state of change. And when you connect a different charge of mentality to a different thing in your body, you'll realize that you just provided the charge for the change. And so don't be sitting there sick in the body and sick in the mind, because otherwise two negatives and two wrongs don't make a right. But when you get into a mind that you can change your situation, your body will eventually catch up to your mind. Okay? Teaching you about these changes hopefully will encourage you that you can change your condition. You can change your position. You can change your situation. You can change your dynamic. So you keep asking, man, can I heal this? And can we heal that? And can this be healed? Do you not know nature, my sister, my brother? Nature is nothing but a ball of changes. All we got to do is endure for a season. The job of a herbalist or a doctor is nothing more than to eradicate the interference of something that is already innately in you. So when we come to you, we said, okay, your body already supposed to heal for you from the cancer. You wasn't even supposed to be in here with cancer because you done been had cancer, and your body done healed you over. And do y'all not get what I'm trying to get you to understand? Your body done did this. So it is something wrong with your body, not the cancer, but there's something wrong with the defense mechanism. Hey, look, man. I'm gonna do this one more time. Okay, I'm gonna go real slow. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. I'm gonna go real slow. And I'm gonna do this one more time for y'all to catch it. The immune system, screenshot it and write it down. The endocrine system, it ain't the digestive system, y'all. Okay, but it is in the offshoot. Indirectly, it is, but not fully. Okay, the nervous system. And the reason why it's indirectly because 80% of this is your gut microbiome. It's your immune system, your endocrine system, and your nervous system. But when we really talk an immune system, 80% of your defense mechanism is in your gut microbiome. I'm going to say this one more time. We ain't really talking about digestion going toward the gut like you think. We're going to say immune system, endocrine system, and nervous system are the things that are automatically going out to repair you. What is interfering your body from repairing itself? It must be a problem with the repair crew. It must be a problem with the repair crew. Ain't nobody ever thought about going back into these. These are automatically the repair crew. My body automatically was doing this. So therefore, what happened to make it not do it no more to where I still got allergies, I still got the virus, I still got the parasite, I still got the bacteria, I still got, because there's something going on with one of these. So yes, check your gut for your immune system, check your endocrine system, your hormones and emotions, and check your nervous system, your mind, because that's, again, what this is talking about. This is representing the air element, which is your spirit. This is representing the water element, which is your emotions, aka your feelings. This is representing the fire element, which is your mind, aka your thinking. So if I can come in and help you balance out your mind, your thinking, your emotions, your feelings, and your spirit, along with your immune system, endocrine system, and nervous system, I heal you and you heal yourself. Any questions? What say you? Y'all got questions? Holler at me. I'm going to stop right there. Y'all got questions? Holler at me, man. It's 5 o'clock. I'm going to stop right there. If y'all got questions, holler at me. All right? What's going on, YouTubers? If you guys got questions, holler at me. This is a great time to do it. Once we get to 100,000 likes, if you guys want to come up on the live, you can give us your birthday, and we'll walk you through what the owner's manual can do for you, okay? If you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM me, and we'll get you the information that you need. Okay, so healing happens naturally, and if it's not happening, then something mind, spirit is going on. No, listen to what I'm saying. Yes and no. Yes and no. But I want to get it to you, so I'm going to say it better for you to understand, okay? You got it right, but you know how I like to be. Okay, so now, these things automatically, autonomously heal you, okay? Remember that this is involuntarily. Anytime that you need cell repair, anytime that you got cell damage, anytime that you got a cut, a bruise, whatever going on, right? Your immune, the endocrine, and the nervous system autonomously will go and try to help. I like to keep using autonomously because it has no bearing on you telling it to do anything. That means that it's innately, it's built in you. It's built in you, okay? Now, what I'm saying is these are repairing you from all of the crap that you've been going through. You got toxins in the environment. You got chemicals. You got bioplastics. You got all this stuff that you're constantly going through every day, including your lifestyle, the way you live and what you do and how you talk and think, all this type of stuff, how you think, mind, feeling, emotions, all your spirit, all of this is going on, whether you like it or not, around you and in you, based on the way you're living outside and the way the environment is living on the inside of you. It's going on without you, right? So my point to you is that whatever you're living at, your body is already adapting to the lifestyle. So therefore, if your body is in problem, that means that your adaptation is not working no more. Your adaptation, your ability to change, your ability to be able to maneuver. And here's the thing, why? Because that cell plasticity, that same ability to transform to your help is the same ability to transform into your enemy. Cell plasticity, that same ability that it uses to transform into anything for you, cancer can use that same metamorphosis state to transform into what it wants. So the spread of cancer is actually due to cell plasticity. But what do you do? Because your repair mechanism needs cell plasticity as well. So the very same thing that'll heal you will kill you. So it is the safety of the integrity of the cell, so that it don't get genetically modified. Again, now we're talking about that cell plasticity and that epigenetic part that I just showed you on the slide, because that's going to change the functionality. That's going to change the instructions. So your job is to watch out for your mind, your emotions and your feelings, and your spirit. And anytime that you get into a problem spiritually or biologically, psychologically or biologically, it's the breakdown of one of the two or all. Okay? That's what we're saying, L. Gross. That's what we're saying. And I'm telling you how to do it is to get some kind of peace with change. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to say? You need to be able to get some kind of peace with change in your life. You need to get some kind of peace with change. That's what the problem is. You got to get some kind of peace with change. If you okay with change, if you get peace, if you get some kind of solidarity, if you get some kind of contentment with change, then you're going to be okay. You're so mad that things have changed. And sometimes you guys can't produce change in your life. You can't change your situation. And I'm telling you that if you sitting at home right now and you can't change your financial situation, then you ain't gonna be able to change your health situation. Your power, you got to see where it's at. If you can't change your financial situation, you're probably powerless to change your health condition. And if you can't change your health condition, you're probably one of those people who are powerless at changing your relationship situation. You got to show this thing, man. Things will change. You can't refute it and be mad at it, but then you also got to be able to use it and manipulate it through the paradigm. So you so mad at change that you don't want it for good or for bad. And you're refusing the nature of this existence. You can't be stagnated in an ever-changing world. You must evolve. And what I'm saying is having a contentment and a peace with the change. That yes, I can go from young to old. I can go from baby to nut. I can go from good to rotten. I can go from right to no good. I can go from this to that. I can go from nothing to something. I can go from sick to well. And I can go from well to sick. I can go from rich to broke. I can go from up to down. I can go from on the mountain down into the valley. But the bottom line is each situation should prepare me for the next one. And so now the roller coaster, the down don't feel so bad because I know that change gonna come. And the up don't feel so good because I know that change will come. The simplicity in this message can help you. You must know where you are in the paradigm. We can help you with that with your owner's manual. Okay? That's why if you look bad, you feel bad. That's why when you financially unstable, low frequency come. It's all frequency. It's all energy. It's all energy. Okay? That's what we do. I'm an energy mixologist. Okay? I am a energy mixologist. Okay? Even when we're talking about metals and non-metals. Okay? Energy mixology. So that positive and that negative on that battery. When your car don't work, if you change the battery, the car does work. So this negative and positive polarity change the condition of your car. When your toy don't work, if you change the battery in the toy does work. So this positive and negative polarity change the condition of the toy. And when you don't work, if we can get you to get this polarity, then you can change the condition of your body, of your finances, of your relationship, and of your health. Period, right? But this is no different than, again, the metals and non-metals, right? You got the metals and you got the non-metals. Same thing. The light switch in your house, positive and negatives in the back of them light switches. Okay? It's the recipe for something being turned on. And what I'm saying is, when you're using your turned on, instead of being turned on from his voice to make lubrication come, and instead of being turned on from her body to make your erection come, then we can utilize that same turned on to turn on the mental and the spiritual fortitude to send energy to a debilitated kidney, to send energy to a debilitated heart, to send energy to a space that people can't get to, a medication can't get to, into a scenario where it changes the condition. And it revives the cell, it revives the tissue, it revives the organ, something that man can't do. There was a brother that hit me up the other day and said that he was supposed to go to surgery for his appendix. We all know that appendix will kill you if you don't do something about it. All he did was drink some fenugreek tea and went back down now, and now he ain't got the appendix. Hey, look, the appendix normal. So first we want to take it out. Then how did it go back to normal? Because we gave it the charge that's necessary to change the condition. So you don't have to remove your gallbladder. You don't got to remove your thyroid. You don't got to remove your uterus. You don't got to remove your breast. You don't got to remove your this and your that. All you got to know how to do is get with somebody that know how to be an energy mixologist and know how to take the energies of plants and foods and charge you up. And we do that for you with your owner's manual for a funky measly $50. So if you ask me what I do, that's what I do. I'm an energy mixologist. Okay, we mix these energies up in order to give you the polarity of that thing that you're looking for. And sometimes these emotions also can interrupt your healing. They can interfere. Emotions can interfere with your homeostasis and also your regeneration. Toxins can interfere with your homeostasis and also your regeneration. So once we clear you of those things and give you the proper sunlight, which you should be getting 4 hours a day of sunlight. You need sunrise sunlight and you need sunset sunlight. So everybody keep asking me what time. You need sunrise sunlight and sunset sunlight. So I always say between the times of 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. and then between the times of 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. during the winter and between 6 to 8 p.m. during the summertime, right? Because the summer you got longer days. Okay. So that's how you do it, right? So you need 4 hours of sunlight. You need real water. You need real air. So even though you in the bed right now, you can't walk. Somebody got to cart you out, wheel you out. They got to roll you out. They got to carry you out. But you got to go outside. You can't stay in hospital air conditioner. You can't stay in the house air conditioner. You got to go outside to get real air. So while you're getting the 4 hours of sunlight, charge that to give you 4 hours of that outdoor air as well. And I just told you again, you better wheel them out, roll them out. You carry them out. You gotta throw them out. You gotta do whatever you got to do to get them outside. But they got to go outside. They can't stay in no old folk home all day with that air because air conditioning start to recycle itself. And next thing you know, you over there getting sick building syndrome and cold, wet lungs and all this type of stuff because of the moisture of the air conditioned air. Now you got a cold and a cough that won't go away because of the air conditioning. Because of the air conditioning. Well, they can't go outside, wheel them out, roll them out, carry them out. I don't care what you got to do. They got to get out there. They can't get out there, then you might well go on and call the casket now. They will not survive. Okay? And then also natural spring water or well water. Stop all that alkaline this and alkaline that. Natural spring water and well water is the water for you. And then last but not least, some nutrient-dense foods, and we're going to call these the microgreens. Okay? Grow you some microgreens, go to Sprouts, go to Whole Foods, go to whatever store, get you some microgreens. So now I got sunlight, I got the right water. He told me about the owl. And then also I got microgreens salads that I'm feeding them every day, getting them 40% more nutrients than if I grew it as a real plant. And now with all of that, now you got start to get the body what it needs to do what? Regenerate. Remember, regeneration is the catapult that you need for homeostasis. Homeostasis is the umbrella of life. It's the one that's the reading rainbow. It's the one that's trying to teach you cohesiveness and balance. So that's what I'm trying to do is get you to understand that homeostasis is the purpose of life, but then you must regenerate to get there. So that means that you got to be understanding how to change. You got to be able to adapt to the changes. And so when there's a low tide, that's when you go fishing. When it's a low tide, that's when you go out there and go get your seashells. When it's a low tide, that's when you go treasure hunting. That's when you go to work. But when it's a high tide, when you're flooded with emotions, flooded with things in life, flooded with all this spiritual stuff, mental stuff, flooded with all these diagnoses and all these diseases, and flooded with all these health conditions and financial concerns, and flooded with all this child care and children, and flooded with all of these goddamn life things, right? Then you got to know how to sit up and rest somewhere during the... Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, man. This ain't rocket science, you guys. It's different spring water fountains all over America. Yes, all you got to do is just go to findaspring.org, findaspring.org, okay? Put in your zip code. It'll tell you about the natural spring water near you. Okay? All right. Findthespring.org. What question that you got, Quincy? I'm never going to big up anybody's brand, okay? So I'm never going to tell you that this water, that water, not the spring water. I big up nature. I never tell you to go get this book, go get that book, or go to these people for their herbs. We don't do that here. And the reason why, because I ain't really tried none of that stuff. So I ain't going to sit here and lie to you. Water is natural spring water. I just told you, findthespring.org if you're looking for natural spring water in your neighborhood. If you're interested in the manual, Clayson, please DM me and we'll get you the information, Clayson Blazing. Okay? No, I just don't do yours, DJ Engine, because you asked. Is ice cold water bad for you? It just all depends. It just all depends. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a very hot climate, no. If you're doing it every day and you're not in those types of situations and you're just doing it as engineering, you just socially engineered to drink ice cold water behind everything that you eat, then that's when it become bad for you. Cold water also, you guys, it constricts the digestive system. So you will see that it can cause you to be very obese. Okay, so if you're having weight issues, if you can't lose weight, you may want to stop drinking ice cold water, ice cold drinks. Okay, if you have a problem with losing weight, watch your ice cold water, ice cold drink intake. Yes, I just said that natural spring water and well water are the best waters on the planet. You need a manual, DM me. And you got cramps a lot, it's because you're just emotional. Okay, the emotions are causing the cramps. Okay, mental, your thoughts and your feelings is causing these things. Hi, man and family, what's going on? All right, that's it. Okay, let's keep it moving, you guys. Once we get to 100K, if you guys want to do the live birthdays, we'll do it then. All right. So now, with that being said, now you're starting to understand that this is a discipline. This is a relic. It's an old relic that we can utilize to understand exactly where we are in the paradigm. Okay. Remember that you must understand how to use this positive and negative situation. I showed you guys yesterday that everything has a positive and a negative. Okay. Everything has a positive and a negative. So even if I go around this circle, Aries, right? Aries is a positive. Taurus is a negative. Gemini is a positive. Cancer is a negative, right? Leo is a positive. Virgo is a negative. Libra is a positive. Scorpio is a negative. Sagittarius is a positive. Capricorn is a negative. Aquarius is a positive. And Pisces is a negative. So you're getting this recipe even in your zodiacal trip or even in your trip around the sun. Okay? So this positive and negative is the recipe. Okay? This is groundbreaking information I'm giving you guys, man. That's why nobody will be able to rival this, man, but it works, okay? So now what you understand is that a lot of us can come in positive, right? So let's say if you're Aries, and we know that Aries and Libras, that's your alter ego. That's your other half, right? Then you got Taurus and Scorpio. Okay. Then you got Gemini and Sagittarius. Okay. Then you got Cancer and Capricorn. Okay. Then you got Leo and Aquarius. Right. And then we got Virgo and Pisces. Now watch this. Watch this now. Aries, Libra. So anybody that are Aries and anybody that's a Libra, these are yours. Positive and positive. Negative, negative. Positive, positive. Negative, negative. Positive, positive. Negative, negative. So if I'm a Gemini and I know I got Sag, I got two positives, then I would need a negative, negative to create the charge. Okay, so this is what we utilize even in our compatibilities. So you guys want to learn your love of your life and compatibilities, we use the polarity, and you can get that on the website as well. But this is how I use that. So an Aries Libra, why would I hit them up with a Gemini Sagittarius? That's too positive. That's too much positive without the other charge. I'm not saying that none of this stuff works. Now, I ain't telling you go and leave your old man in there. I'm just showing you the original science to the game. Okay? So again, we're utilizing all this information to come up with recipe that will give you the right thing that you need for your situation. So a lot of us are coming into the paradigm missing certain minerals. Okay, you keep tapping, you guys. I keep talking. Once we get to 100,000, we'll go ahead and get you up on the screen. Now watch this. A lot of you guys are coming into the paradigm in 6 months, 7, 8, 9 months, right? So that means that a lot of us are missing 4, 5, 6 minerals as soon as we come into the paradigm, but you don't know what they are and you don't know what you're lacking in those things. So let's say me per se, I come into the paradigm in June, right? June the 19th. All I did was 2 years of Gemini. So I mean, not 2 years, I did 2 days of Gemini, right? So 2 days, I did 8 months of Gemini. So really, I didn't get everything that Gemini would offer in a mineral. Okay. Now the mineral that Gemini offers me is going to be potassium chloride. Okay, potassium chloride. Now watch this. So I didn't get all the Gemini, so I'm gonna put Gemini down. Okay, but so I came in Gemini, so that means that my mama and them had me 9 months before that. So we're gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in Libra, so right around her birthday, right? So in Libra, right around her birthday, my dad, her and my dad, and then did something, and then here I come out here in June, right? So I got a little bit of a Gemini, right? But then I didn't get none of Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. So I'm missing Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. So Cancer now, Gemini give me potassium chloride. Okay, Gemini give me potassium chloride. I'm missing Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Let's just say, okay, Cancer gonna give me a calcium fluoride. Leo gave me magnesium phosphate. And Virgo gave me potassium sulfate. Now watch this, watch the charge. So I came out automatically missing at least 4 particular things that can cause me problems. Now Gemini here, we know this is a positive. Cancer, we know that's a negative. Leo, we know is a positive. Polarity, the energy. Now I know what herbs to get these from, but let's just talk about what potassium chloride would have did for me. Potassium chloride would have been good for my mucus lymphatic system. Okay, the mucus and lymphatic system. All right. Cancer right here, the calcium fluoride is good for elasticity and muscular system. Okay, if I had problems with that. Leo, the magnesium phosphate would have been good for the brain and nerves. The muscle and the nerve spasms and contractions. Okay. And then if I had anything wrong with the potassium sulfate, that would have helped me. Obviously, Virgo is going to be good for the gut, but potassium sulfate also can help you with the oxidations of the skin and the blood. Now, I have problems with my skin. I have problems with my digestive system, Virgo. I have problems with, this and that and the third. So not even understanding that these were some of the things that were missing in me coming into the paradigm, that now using polarity, I can go get the herbs for and get me these substances that I need to, because without this fuel, how can you go? If you don't know you're missing some of this can be the culprit to your situation. Remember, malnutrition, not understanding, you got limited diets, all this type of stuff. Somebody need to know this science, and we're uncovering it for you today so that you can understand that that's what we're bringing to the table with your owner's manual, okay? It's all in there. Everything is in there. Okay, everything is in there. Can I list what? Because I did the list yesterday. So if you missed that, go and look at the YouTube, and then you'll find out all of the 12 minerals and all that type of stuff. Okay. What's needed for skin and gut? I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna go through all that. I'll be on here all day. Get your manual. That's what you need to get. Get your manual. What can I use for joint pain for your knee? Get your manual. Get your manual. Okay. I'm not that kind of show. Okay. I'm not gonna spit out herbs and all that type of stuff. Get your owner's manual for a measly little funky $50. You'll learn how to heal yourself, and you don't never got to come on nobody else's show asking them how to heal you. You don't never got to come on here asking about your knee pain no more. For a funky measly dollars, you got the blueprint on you, and you don't never got to spend money outside of you no more. That's what you want. That's the product that you're looking for. How can I get me one thing that I ain't never got to go out here and fuck around no more? That's what you want. Hospitals and all this stuff it's industry that's being created based on your ignorance, right? Out of your ignorance, you're creating industry. It's time for you to get the skill and the requirement that it needs for you to be in this environment. And one of the biggest requirements that you're gonna need for you to be in this environment is to know thyself. And if you don't know thyself, you're going to start seeing people leave this environment very, very soon, very easy, very quickly. Okay, because you don't know the paradigm in which you're living in. And it's because you guys are not taking examples from nature, you're taking examples from man. And the fallibility of man is that we've always been wrong because we're learning as we're yet evolving. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that there is a blueprint that's in nature, but you must decode it. And it ain't that hard to decode. Nature is not that hard to decode. Okay, how do you lower calcium in your body? Well, the first question I would ask is why you want to lower the calcium. But then, if it is got high calcium, then that's going to be, in my opinion, a direct result of you being too acidic. So that calcium is coming from your kidneys. Because unless you drinking milk and doing all that, then that calcium coming from your kidneys. So that means you've been too acidic. So then just do the opposite of what you've been doing. Go on a 15-day green juice diet of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, doing the right green juice. If you want that, you can email me. We'll give you that. And then you can be able to lower your acidosis. But that's what it is. You're too acidic. What site to go on to get that that manual? Just DM me. Or you can go to the website and then just type in email. Go to my website, type in email, and it'll come up. Okay, go to my website, type in email, it'll come up. The manual had everything you need for a lifetime. Yep. Gratitude, yes. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We teaching you how to fish. Okay, instead of trying to open up a restaurant because we see y'all ignorant. So instead of opening up a restaurant and letting you just stand in my line and tell me how good the fish is, now we're gonna open up a school. Let you guys come join the school. Instead of spending all a lifetime of money, you invest $50 and know thyself. Mama's best cooking was free. I heard the best fasting juice is 2 months clean the colon thoroughly. Well, it just all depends. 2 weeks really, because you don't want to, again, you don't taxate your body, right? You don't want to do that to your body. When is it ever a time that you're doing that to your body? So we like to do something, then we like to let the body get its natural flow. So you never want to keep busting your body upside the head like that. That's what's wrong with a lot of y'all. You've been doing too much colon cleanses and all that. So now you can't shit without prune juice. Now you can't shit without going and get some Pastillion husk. Now you can't shit without Cascada Sagrada. Now you can't shit without the peaches and without the apple juice. Now you can't shit without something to take because you've been using shit to shit. So if you keep doing that, then your organs will go on vacation. Okay? They will go on vacation. That's why we try to tell people about dialysis. The longer you stay on dialysis, your kidneys will go on vacation. You need to pee yourself. Okay, you need to pee yourself. Okay, y'all get that? All right, so we almost at that 100K. Once we get there, you guys, we'll go ahead and let you know. Now, these two seasons, again, now that you understand that these two seasons, spring and summer, fall and winter, right? So these are the two quadrants of each part of life, just like your masculine and your feminine energy. You're always working in a duality, but you're always trying to do a 2 into 1. Okay, you're always trying to produce 2 into 1. All right, always. You're always trying to produce 2 into 1. So the thing is that when we're here in this paradigm, it's very easy to separate the mind from the body. And so now, if you're easy to separate the mind and the body based on environmental stimuli, then what happens is you're always a 1 in 1 or a 2 in 2. But it's never a 2 in 1. So what we're trying to do and trying to synergize and charge up within you in this paradigm where we can get your 2 into 1 place. We can get your mind in the same place your body is in and create the change. Okay? And this is what the Bible was talking about with Adam and Eve and all those things. All right? We got the 100K. If you guys want to come up on the live, guys, let's go ahead and put me in the chat. Come on up. Let's do it. Okay? Keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. We thank you for the 100,000 likes, you guys. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. We come on every day between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're coming live from South Africa. We're live on TikTok and on YouTube. If you are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. And here come my me's. So let's go ahead and get it. The first me here. Are you back?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you?
Yes, I just heard about you and tuning in and getting a lot of information. And just looking for some help with some of my health concerns.
Yeah, so this your first time tuning in? Hello?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me? I said this your first time tuning in?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, it is.
Okay, let me get your birthday.
Yes, this is my first time.
Okay, let me get your...
Okay, June 1st, 1980.
Look like we may have a little...
June 1st. Yeah, sorry about that. June 1st, 1980.
Okay, June 1st, 1980. Everybody hear me well? Does everybody hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, I know they said it's a delay, and now hold on 1 second for me.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, no, it's not you. I think it's my phone that got the delay.
Okay, I can hear you. Okay.
All right, let's go. Let's get it. All right, so 6/1/1980. The model number, we're going to break this down as a life path number, right? So 6 plus 1 equals 7. Okay, so from the month and the date, we get the number 7. From 1980, it's going to end up being 18, right? And so then that's 8 plus 1 to be 9. So you got 9 plus you got the 7, which is going to be 16. 1 and 6 equals 7, okay? So boom. We know that you're a Gemini, so a Gemini is going to be an air sign. The opposite of a Gemini is a Sagittarius, so there go your fire. Okay, the 7 also is going to represent the water. Okay, so you are a air, fire, water. The biggest spiritual tendency that you're going to have to watch out for is delusion and loneliness. Okay, delusion and loneliness. If you get into this situation with delusion and loneliness, you can start having eye issues. Okay, you can start to have also reproductive issues. Also, you can start to have growth and development issues, okay? That's just to name a few. But so that means that you got to stay away from the sensationability that you are alone, that no one understands you, that no one is this and is that. You got to stay away from that, because if you start to hold on to that for some reason, that'll hurt you worse than most, okay? So now outside of that, let's map you on here. And let's see exactly where you are, right? So 6/1/1980, that means you've done approximately, we'll give you 20 days in that you did of Gemini, right? You did 20 days, so you did 6 years, right? So you're Gemini right here that did 6 years. You are 45 years old, so 6, 16, 26, 36, 46. So you're currently right here at the tail end of Libra. So basically, you're on the closing year. You got about another year and some change in Libra. You could be currently dealing with, I'm going to say some stuff, dealing with your bladder or your kidneys. Okay. If you're not dealing with something with your bladder, your kidneys, you want to watch out. It could be some concentration issues. Okay. As well, focus and concentration, equilibrium, vertigo, stuff like that. Maybe you feel dizzy and stuff like this. So you want to watch out for that. Also, you're on the closing end of some kind of relationship. Maybe somebody from your past you either let go or you just met. But either way, you're closing in on that. So that when I mean closing in on it, that means either you're about to finalize it, but it's something changing about that relationship. Okay? You're in that changing phase. Something is changing about that relationship. Now, you've been going through relationship stuff for about the last, I'm going to say almost 10 years. Okay? That's kind of been what you've been going through. But that's about to end. Now, the thing about that is that in order to end it or to pass the test, is that you need to choose peace. Okay. I know what's been going on there, been kind of rough. It looks like here when you were, what we said, 6 years, so 6, 16, 26, 36. So 6, 16, 26. So between 31 and 41, something happened, some kind of life-changing event. Did you get married within that time or some kind of sickness or what?
Yes, I got married and have illness, autoimmunity.
Yeah, because of the Virgo right here, right? Remember that Virgo, that's what's going to be telling you about your gut and stuff like that. So autoimmunity is always something about the gut. Did you have some grief and depression, some sadness and loss happen right before you got the autoimmune disease? Somebody left or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, like abandonment, toxic people, just marriages, in-laws.
So when did you get diagnosed? When did you get diagnosed with the autoimmune disease?
Well, I've actually been having issues for about 20 years, but I was recently diagnosed 2 years ago because I hired a functional doctor.
Yeah, but you said you've been dealing with it for about 20 years, right?
Yes.
Okay, so right before the 20 years, because you were 45, so 25, so we said around, I said 30 something to 40 something is when the incident happened. But the bottom line is the grief and depression. If you don't get a handle onto that, okay, or it could be this right here, this delusion and loneliness. If you don't get a handle, this delusion and loneliness could also mean that you could be in a relationship with somebody and still feel alone. So you want to be careful about these things because you've already suppressed one that's caused autoimmune disease. You don't want to suppress another one that can keep it festering. And the reason why they call it autoimmune diseases and it feels like there's no cure, because anything that's incurable is spiritual. So the thing about it is that in order to eradicate autoimmune disease, you got to eradicate that feeling of that grief and depression, that sadness and loss, because you keep toiling with it every now and then. And I guarantee you, when you toil with it, you start to flare up.
That's true.
Right? It's because it's still there. And it's causing the problem, not the autoimmune.
Okay. That makes sense to me. It resonates with me.
Okay. But I want you to know that we can give you the herbs and we can do all of that once you get your owner's manual. You are in a spiritual time, so you can start to pray, manifest. You can start to focus and concentrate, and that's going to bring things to you. You don't have to be worried about physically going out and trying to do everything that you're dreaming of doing now. Use your mind. Focus on something, concentrate on it, and it will come to you, sis. All right?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Peace. All right, who's next on here? Who do I got here? Please keep tapping, you guys. We'll keep talking. Please keep tapping. We'll keep talking. God is Jay. How can I help you?
I'm new here, like she was, and just want to get information.
Okay. Are you dealing with any kind of illnesses?
Yes.
Okay. What's your birthday?
October 9th, 1989.
Okay, October the 9th, 1989. Let's get it up here. 10, 9, 89. Let's get your model number. So 10 plus 9 would be 19. 1 and 9 would be 10. And then it's going to end up being a 1. Okay. So out of your birth date and month, that's a 1. 1989 eventually going to come down to being 18 plus 9, which is going to be 27. 7 and 2 is going to be 9. Okay. So we got 9 and we got 1. That's going to make it 10. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So you're a model number 1 person. Okay. 921 to 1021 mean that you're a Libra. So that's an air sign. Every Libra has some Aryan qualities, so that's your fire. And then that 1 is also going to be a earth element. Okay. Your biggest spiritual tendency is going to be stress and worry or anxiety. Okay. Stress, worry, and anxiety will cause you to have arthritis, blood pressure issues, what else we got? Arthritis, blood pressure issues, adrenal issues where you having low energy, all that type of stuff, kidney issues, all that can come out of this stress and worry. Okay. Now, 10-9-89. Let's map you real quick. So you are going to be a Libra, right? So 10-9. Let's say you did. Let me give you 11 days. We'll give you 11, 12 days. So that's going to make you 3 years and 4 months, 3 years and 8 months, somewhere around now. So we say 3 years and 8 months. Then you are 36 or you 35?
Yeah, I'm 36 and I'm 35 now.
Okay, 35. So we say 3 years and 8 months, 13 years and 8 months, 23 years and 8 months, 33 years and 8 months. So you're in the first decan of Aquarius. So recently you just got with, I would say within the last year or so, you just got with some kind of little group or some kind of little friends and stuff like that where y'all are trying to do some things. As well, you want to watch out for, I think within the last year or two, you may have been also dealing with something with your arms or something like that. Nothing with your arms within the last year or so?
No.
Okay. All right. So what about something with, if it's not with your arms, then what about something dealing with the heart?
The closest thing I can think about the heart is I've had 2 blood clots in my lungs.
Within the last year or two?
I mean, it's been over.
That's something that you just been dealing with in life in general.
Yep, something I've been dealing with.
Okay. So let me ask you this real quick right here. I didn't mean to erase your stuff, but I had to get a little clear. All right, so you went from Libra to Aquarius right here. So what we say, 3 years and 8 months, 13 years and 8 months, 23 years and 8 months. So 13 years and 8 months. From 18 to 28, what happened?
18 to 28, I had my first child at 18.
Okay.
Got married. Well, before I got married, I was diagnosed with HSV. And I got married, and that was a toxic situation.
Okay. And that was your first diagnosis ever?
Yep.
Okay. So that's what's been hampering you. You haven't been able to get over. I ain't talking about HSV as far as your body. I'm saying you haven't been able to get over guilt and unforgiveness. of that happening to you. And you probably had some more reproductive issues going forward, right? And the reason why is because of the trauma. The trauma of what happened is you're keeping it there. You see what I'm saying? So you're always going to be having problems reproductively, whether it's creatively with your ideas or whether it's about baby making or relationships, because of this guilt and unforgiveness.
It's been with relationships.
Yeah, I know. And that's what I'm saying. But because you can't forgive and some things you can't forgive yourself and you can't forgive other people, it's always hampering that part of your life. And the bad part about it is that you're a Libra, so you just diabolically out here seeking relationship and can't really seem to get the right thing because of this trauma.
Right.
So you're a Libra, so you automatically come wanting to be in partnership. You know, now, but the thing about you having problems there because of what happened, I'm gonna say probably maybe a year or so before 18. Oh well, a year or so before the HSV diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's what happened to you. So what we got to do is we got to get those things out of you. Okay. And remember that's what I'm trying to get y'all to get, is to release these spiritual things so that we can get you back into the oneness. Again, when you're looking at stress and worry, you're either going to be depressed in the past or you're going to be anxious about the future, worried about tomorrow. Well, if that's where your mind is at all the time, then you're rarely ever in the present moment. You see what I'm saying? So how are you going to heal yourself if you can't focus and concentrate and get this stuff out of you? You got problems focusing and concentrating, problems sleeping, problems with really trying to narrow down things and trying to fixate on what you need to do. And that's why I try to tell y'all, you're in this spiritual time. You should be able to focus and concentrate so well that the life that you want to live, it should come in your dreams, but it should also come in your reality just by your dreams.
Yeah.
You got one part of life where you got to work for this shit. And you got another part of your life where you can think this shit to yourself. And y'all don't understand. What's happening is you're living in the paradigm accidentally instead of intentionally. And so here's the problem with that. When you don't understand how to work with electricity, even though you're a student, you're gonna burn your house down. So you got to get into expertise mode because the product doesn't change. It's power that you're working with, woman. You're working with power. Now it's time for you to get out of student mode and into teacher mode and say, okay, either I'm going to become an electrician or I'm going to burn my house down. So I must learn how to use my power. There's no reason that you should be in any kind of situation, because right now you are so in your spiritual high state. You're so spiritually heightened and so emotionally heightened that you can wish a flu on somebody and it'll come. But don't be accidental, because what happens is when you're accidental, when you think negative, you bring it to pass too. So you got to be careful not to be accidental with this power. Otherwise, all your negative thoughts will be coming true while all your positive thoughts are sitting to the wayside. So think positive and use this intentionally. Use these moments intentionally. And look, you're going to be here for another, I will give you another 17, 18 years. You're going to be here to practice on this and start to bring your life the way that you want it, from the dreams to reality. Okay. And if you need anything for your health and everything like that, obviously we give you way more information than this in your owner's manual. So if you need your owner's manual, you DM me, we'll get you that information. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, peace. All right. Yo, what's going on, DJ Energy? What's happening?
What's up, HerbMan?
Man, just chilling, man. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm new to the lab just like them, so just want to get some information.
Yes,
I
sir.
can give you my birthday.
Now, are you dealing with any health issues?
Not that I know of, no.
Well, hey, man, you had to call me back then when we just want to chit chat, man. I can't do it right now. I got so many people dealing with health concerns, man. But if you just really want to know, you can DM me, man. We'll get you your owner's manual. But this is for people that are actually really dealing with some stuff, so we can kind of, while I do this, we can at least give them some kind of reciprocity, at least in the free stage. All right.
Okay.
All right. Peace. Yo, Empress, how you doing? How can I help?
I'm well, thank you. Gratitude, brother.
Yes. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help?
Is the last couple of months, I noticed that I've lost a lot of weight, like 20 pounds, and I work out a lot, and I do have a lot of businesses, so I do work out. I work and work out as well. But you mentioned something earlier that struck me. I do my annuals. I'm perfectly healthy, I believe, but the last 5 months, I think something changed in my body, and I don't know what it is. I've been getting night sweats, and it's just weird stuff that's going on with my body. So I wanted to just kind of see because
how old are you now? Because if you around that 40 something to 50 mark, then we already know it could be some menopausal stuff.
It's more than that. I'm older. I'm 62.
Oh, you're 62. Okay. Well, you sounded young, so I didn't know. All right, well, give me your birthday. Let me see.
It's November 4th, 1962.
November the 4th, 62. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about, an old school shit. Let's go. All right, so now 11 plus 4 is 15. 1 and 5 equals 6. So we got 6 from the month and the date, right? So we got 6 there. 1962 is going to end up being 16 plus 2, which is 18. Okay, 8 and 1 is going to be 9. So you got the 9, and then you got the, what we said this was 6. So you got the 9 and you got the 6 here, which is going to be 15. And then that 1 and 5 is going to make it a 6, right? So boom, you are model 6 being here. So you got 1021 to 1121. That's going to make you a Scorpio. Okay, and the Scorpio is a water. The opposite of a Scorpio is Taurus, so that's the earth. And then the 6 makes you an air. So you are a water, earth, air Scorpio. And a lot of people say, well, Scorpios are water elements, but that's why you can't go to your regular natal chart reader and astrologist because they don't know this information. So everybody ain't the same. You can be a Scorpio, but be the fire element. You could be a Scorpio, but work with the earth element. You could be a Scorpio and work with the water element. Or you could be a Scorpio like this young lady and work with the air element. Well, how do I know she worked with the air element? I don't know this young lady, but I can tell you that she talks to herself in the car, in the house, all that type of stuff, because that's what air element people do. We talk to ourselves, or we go outdoors and be on the patio. We can't stay in the house, got to be outside. One of those. Now tell me, am I wrong or right?
You're absolutely correct on that. Wow.
All right. And so now the biggest spiritual tendency for you here is going to be grief and depression. Okay. How you handle grief and depression is going to be your tall tale thing, because this thing right here going to beat me upside the head. Okay. How you work with grief and depression is going to be determined about how your immune system, respiratory system, and autoimmunity. Okay. So you got to be careful with the grief and depression. All right. 11/4/62, 21 days. 11/21, we'll say you did 17 days. I'll give you 16, 17 days. So that's what, 10 and 13, that's 4 years. And then another 3 is 5 years, right? So let's say you did 5 years of Scorpio, which is right here. And how old are you today?
62.
62 years old today. 5 years of Scorpio. So 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, and 65. So you say 62? So you're right here in the middle decan of Taurus, right? You're about to go in here to the third decan of Taurus, but you're right there at the cusp of the middle decan and the third decan of Taurus. So if there is any current things going on, then it will be something going on, either something that you're just now getting over, or maybe in the middle of something with your throat. Or it could be something going on with the ovaries and the uterus. I don't know if you were contemplating something going on with the ovaries and the uterus right there, right? But the biggest thing is those things that you got to watch out for currently. Also, you want to watch out for your immune, your respiratory, your autoimmune issues. You want to watch out for grief and depression. You are at a physical time in life. You're a little bit different from everybody else that we've done today. you're in the PT test time of your life. So although you are 62, this is going to be incumbent for you to keep your physical up because you got to pass the PT test. So for some reason, everybody has to do these types of stuff, right? Some people are born in the spiritual. Little babies got to pass spiritual test, and then some old folks got to pass the PT test. It's no rhyme or reason to it, and that's why we got to understand body preservation and understand spiritual preservation, but also understand earth preservation. And we try to teach this way for you to understand how to preserve nature, so you can understand how important it is to preserve your nature. So right now you're at an intellectual time in your life. It's going to really require you to be on your intellectual game. Pretty sure you already know about that. You in Taurus, so I'm pretty sure you've been getting your money right for these last couple of years here, because that's kind of the phase that you've been in. The lesson that you want to pass in Taurus is that it's okay to see the beauty in things. Okay, seeing the beauty in things. Any questions?
Yeah, amazing. And I guess what struck me to even speak is you mentioned about the ice cold water. I did a shift in my body, I think. In the last 5 months, I started shifting to drinking ice cold water all day. Now, I'm someone that all I do is drink water. I don't really drink alcohol. I'm just one of those soda. I don't do that. And I've been drinking ice water now for 5 months, and I notice I've been dealing with severe constipation, severe morning cramps. And I'm like, what's going on? I just drink water, but I love ice water. I've been enjoying it. I mix it in my creatine before I work out. I play tennis. I'm pretty healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, people tell me all the time I look like I'm 35, 40, but I'm 62 and I feel young.
Right.
And I'm healthy. I eat clean, but something shifted in my body the last 3-4 months, and I don't know. When you mentioned ice water a few minutes ago, it just kind of had me like, oh my God, could that be what's going on with my body? You know,
well,
because I am at the best stage of my life right now.
I mean, it could be that, but it could be a numerous of things as well. Again, a fluctuation in your emotions could be something that happened within the last few months. Again, what I'm seeing here is, like I said, you just been at that time where I guess you've been out here getting your finances together, getting your income and everything together. I don't see that
shift in my life. Yes, I did. I moved from operating in the public to operating in trust. Yes, I did shift my whole life this past year. And so, yes, definitely the financial side is explosive. So, yes.
Now,
so I don't know.
Right here, let me ask you this. At 5, 15, 25, 35, 45. So between 40 and 50 years old, was there something major happening in your life then? A major life change? Okay.
Yes. I had a major, in every area. Marriage. Marriage, children, almost died, had a blood clot, having my son over 40, because I have an 18-year-old at 62. And so having it for the man I had the baby for went to prison. Yes, it was definitely bad time in my life. Okay. But even then, I still soared in other areas like business and, stuff of that nature. But yes, emotionally, I did. It was definitely very hard.
Do you feel like you're over what happened?
Yes. I finally got over the divorce. That man. I woke up 2021, and God did it for me. And he was removed out of my heart. And yes, I forgave him. I forgave him, and I forgave myself. So yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure because a lot of times when we're talking about overheating, okay. Overheating is going to be regulated by your hypothalamus, right? So this is your nervous system, okay? Your nervous system. So I'm more or less inclined to be talking about overthinking, being kind of restless at night and kind of resting the mind, okay?
I don't sleep much. I'm not a big sleeper. I do think more and I study a lot. And I do need to sleep more. I know I need at least 7-8 hours sleep, but I only get 3-4 a day. So
then that's the problem for me right there. That's the problem for me, because you already said that you're 62. You're telling me that you're working out. that means that you're using a lot of energy, which is fine. Again, you at that PT test, but don't run your body down. Remember that you got to pace yourself. So body preservation is key here. Preserving your body and not trying to run it down is going to be the key. You can't live 100 in this paradigm, Empress. In this paradigm, because we're inundated with so much oxidative stress and environmental stimuli and toxins, that it is how we're educated and how the body preserve. And body preserve ain't always about getting big muscles. Sometimes body preserve is you resting and sitting, laying your ass somewhere and being still. So you can't work off the problems. You can't exercise out these thoughts. So instead of exercising the body, we want to exercise the demon, if you know what I'm talking about. And demons are deadly emotions that can stay suppressed in folks' spirit. And although you getting the muscle build, you want to get the spirit build. And although you getting the physical look, you want to be able to have that spiritual fitness as well. And so what I'm trying to get you to understand is rest is just as beneficial to your physical body as exercise.
Okay, so maybe let me ask you this question. So meditation, I meditate every day, very spiritual. I spent 2-3 hours in meditation every morning in prayer. However, I was talking to a friend not too long ago, and I was told that it is important for, as a woman, I have gone through menopause. I think I have. I feel like I have. Gone through menopause, or probably still going through it. But how important is it, sex? Because I have been celibate for a very, very long time. And I did step out for about a year, but then I went back into celibacy again. But I'm being told that it's so important that for women. I don't know. I mean, but I'm spiritual, and I'm not trying to just be giving myself up to people. If I'm not in a relationship, I preserve my body that way. But I'm told that in your 60s, you should be having more release, more sex. That's what I hear. So I just wanted to pose that question to you.
I mean, the bottom line is that you have the womb of the body and the womb of the mind. Both are where you can create, right? And a lot of times when you can't formulate creativity from here, then you can formulate it from up here, right? And so that's what that's what we're trying to teach people is that if you can't do it on one end, you can do it on the other. So if it's unproductive here, if you're reaching the ability of unproduction, because we don't like recreational, we like procreation, because that's even within what we're trying to do. You can't have these cells be recreational. They got to be procreational. You can't have cells running around here doing shit just because. Cells have to have instruction, and they have to have a reason, and they have to have a purpose for the design that they're created to do. So cells need procreation, not recreational instruction. So then therefore, when this can no longer be built for procreation, then we have to say then, well, what can it create? If there's no creativity here, then that energy must be shifted on up to be creative here. So now you focus on a woman. Remember that I told y'all this a long time ago in the Bible, talking about Adam and Eve. Adam was the body and Eve was the mind. Therefore, what I'm trying to get you to understand is that you should be looking for a man for his body, and a man should be looking for a woman for her mind. And so even though you got a biological clock on body, you ain't got one on mind. You see what I said right there? So if you can understand how to be able to push that creative energy up to your mind, then you'll still find your relevance. You'll still find your orgasm. You'll still find your cosmic energy. You'll still find your dopamine. You'll still find the pleasure. You'll still find the lubrication. Because I told you, remember when you was young, he'll talk to you. You're the mind always of the woman. So don't ever think that it's all about this for you, woman, because it's really about this. Man, go and find a woman that can create with a mind. Woman, go and find you a great security guard. He the one that need the body, not you. Brothers out here looking for women for their body, and men and women out here looking for men for their body, and you got it all wrong. Men look for a woman with a creative mind. Women look for a man with a physical fitness enough to secure the creative mind in which you bring to the table. And that's a lifetime security job. But if we just looking at your physical parts, that has a time limit on it.
That's right.
Right? But there ain't no time limit on your mind. So what I'm saying to you is, it's always been your mind that got this crump. So let this always be it.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I guess, and even if you're not thinking about it, I mean, I feel pretty healthy in terms of, it's just that people just put so much emphasis on that. And for me, it's like,
look,
it has to be
the man for you
mindful.
is going to be that man that got you on that phone, girl. I'm telling you, listen to what I'm trying to tell you now. The man that the one when you know you're gonna release in conversation, you're gonna release in that, and that's when you know. That's when you get a thumbs up and say, "Okay, brother, this is I've been waiting on you."
That is true, and then you're right about that. Intellectual conversation is something that stimulates me. So yes, I do understand what you're saying.
Yes, man. If you wait on that, you'll be good to go, and that's all you waiting on, and that's the release, and you'll start seeing that you can have more of those releases than you'll ever be able to have in your body. And that's what you need to be focused on moving forward anyway, because brothers your age or a little bit, I mean, come on, they ran down, especially.
I don't have men in their 60s. When they approach me, they're approaching me because they're thinking I'm in my 30s and my early 40s, and they're looking for me to take care. Right? They think that I need a sugar daddy, and I'm like, do you know how old I am? I probably could take care of you and your whole family.
Exactly.
So that's So I get it. I completely understand what you're saying. Thank you so much. And I did go into your site. How do I just drop my email in their DM to get your manual, because it's a lot of important things on here.
Yes,
you spoke about grief and depression, and I do suffer from that.
It's a lot of stuff, and you're gonna get your herbs in there. You're gonna get the foods. You're going to get some really more in-depth stuff in there as far as spiritual tendencies and the way that you can maintain yourself in this balance and everything like that. I just can't do everybody because of the amount of people that want it done, and it's just so much information. But yeah, you'll get way more, and you'll be able to do what you need to do for yourself.
I can get a consultation from you too.
Yeah. So as soon as you guys get the so I'm gonna say this. I'm glad you asked me that question. You don't have to pay nothing extra. As soon as you guys get your own, as soon as you pay your $50, you get the owner's manual get sent to you in the e-format. So you get it in your email. If you can't understand it, if you want to go through it, you guys can call me from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys can call me. I am in South Africa right now, so save my contact, download WhatsApp, and you call me, and we'll walk you through that stuff, and you don't got to worry about it, and you got to forever a lifetime access to me. All that within that little funky measly $50, right?
God bless you, brother. God bless you. Yeah, God bless you. I'll be in touch with you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. You too. Bye-bye. All right, you guys, we got to get up out of here, man. But that's the power of nature. Okay, that's the power of nature. That's the power of numbers. That's the power of this alternative method that we're trying to bring to society in year 2025. This is not just for black folks. It ain't just for white folks. It ain't just for the rich. It ain't just for the poor. It ain't just for people who stay here or stay there, man. This is for all of us. Anybody, it doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. We can get you your owner's manual. We can get you the information. Hey, look, you can go and get these herbs anywhere around you, your local herbalist, your local grocery stores. We just give you the blueprint. We give you the shopping list on you. We give you your owner's manual. You can't go and try to crank up your husband with your owner's manual because it's only for your model. Okay, and you can't go and try to crank up your little kid with your owner's manual. It's only for your model. Everybody has their own specific model, their own specific owner's manual, because even though you might have two cars, when they break down, you're going to be able to have to get the right specs in order to get the right parts for them. So each and every one of us are individualized in that way, and the owner's manual has to do that. And all we're doing is asking for a birthday and letting nature give you all of the remedies that you need, man. We love you guys. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. Thank you, YouTube. We love you. Yes, sir. Once again, it's on.